Just did some research for VAR. So he's
there you go. He's understanding.
I understand.
Now he's up on
Now
game.
you can
Now
understand
I'm
why
up on game.
you'd rather watch the Winter Olympics than the All-Star game.
That is correct. Yes.
Put him up on game, man.
Yeah, you did.
Is he back?
No.
Well, there's your update for the 2026 Winter Olympics.
Nice.
From Cortina. Brady Quinn signing off.
All right. Great job, Q.
Outstanding.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd. Wow. Cavino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
A couple of accidents this morning along the service roads of major highways. Starting things off on the service road of I-35 northbound at Highway 71. An accident blocks off the center lane. There's also a wreck on the service road of Highway 71 westbound at FM 973. And some stop-and-go traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Need a new AC? Austin Energy's Home Energy Savings Program can help with rebates averaging $2,000 on whole home energy improvements. Call or visit abacusplumbing.com today for a free home energy savings project estimate. M20628.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, Texas sports fans, Mike Hardge here, and it's time for Texas men's and women's basketball. Thomas J. Henry Law is thrilled to be part of the action with Texas basketball game broadcast. Just like the athletes give it their all on the court, Thomas J. Henry and over 250 attorneys give it their all when it comes to helping you and your families get the justice you deserve. Whether it's on the court or in the courtroom, dedication, strategy, and teamwork are crucial. For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry Law has been committed to securing meaningful results for the injured people and their families. Visit tjhlaw.com or call 24/7 to get the help you need for you and your loved ones.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to trust what you're seeing. Who made it? Is it real? But with iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio hosts' product recommendations. And if you own or manage a business here or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way in creating your future customers. Make iHeartMedia a part of your 2026 plan today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. Again, that's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Tired of one price online and another at the dealership? At Steel Round Rock GMC, no markups, no addendums, just transparent pricing. Plus, we made it easier than ever to find a vehicle to fit your budget. Visit SteelGMCRoundRock.com and shop by payment. Like a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab lease for just $299 a month. Come see why we're the fastest growing GMC dealership in Central Texas. Steel GMC in Round Rock. Everything we do is driven by you. GMC, we are professional grade.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. It looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is...
You can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com now through February 22nd. See all the nominees and place your vote at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, Mo City, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas.
and wherever you may be listening. This is a Fat Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Texas went to the Board of Regents, and they're needing to get approval for some contracts. Sean Miller is getting his team primed up as Texas is getting ready to make a run, and it starts tonight versus LSU. Joe Cook of Inside Texas joins us at 7:34. Head coach of the #2 ranked Texas softball team, Mike White, joins us at 8 a.m. The Dolphins cut bait with a big fish. Texas baseball takes on Lamar tonight starting at 5 o'clock. And when is enough enough? And we'll discuss that. I'm your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, we're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets. Not one, not two, but 3 times today. You're going to get an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see Texas baseball tonight as they take on Lamar. Make sure you lock in. First pitch, 5 o'clock. Don't have to get it and get over there early to make it happen. Let's get into it, Mark, because Texas football went out this offseason and they made some changes. They made some changes that were unexpected. They got rid of Pete Kwiatkowski and went out and got Will Muschamp to come back to be the defensive coordinator. Well, the University of Texas Board of Regents, they have on the agenda for tomorrow through the 19th the ability to approve a couple contracts to make sure that all of it is up in front and going to be able to be covered. And that is set to approve the contract of Will Muschamp, a 3-year deal totaling $8.4 million to become the defensive coordinator at the University of Texas. Not only his contract is up for negotiation, but Johnny Nasson, the co-defensive coordinator and offensive line head coach and OC, Kyle Flood, their contracts are up for conversation as well.
I think that's fair. It's awesome. Make sure that everybody is buttoned up and tightened up, ready to go. And that's another reason why we see now it's not a big deal for athletes to take payments. Because we used to say all the time, wow, man, the coaches are getting laced.
Yep.
And the players are getting nothing. Well, it's not like that now. And it's really cool to see the coaches get their worth.
Right. Well, they're going to get an opportunity to see what it's all about now with the financial obligations or trying to see if that's going to be approved by the Board of Regents. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't.
Why it wouldn't be.
But they also have the running backs coach, Jaluk, excuse me. He's the new running backs coach. And, of course, Blake Gideon coming back. Horns 247, our guy Chip Brown over there, you know he's going to try to find it. He's going to get it. He's the one who's been reporting on this, how much money these guys are going to be making. I will say this, for some of these guys who come over to the University of Texas, they've taken some pay cuts, believe it or not, for them to come here. Gideon was the defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. Well, now he's coming back to coach the secondary and the safeties. So you start to look at the team and you're like, okay, is he going to be okay with the financial move? I believe so, because obviously he made some money, but he also wanted a chance to come back to the 40 acres to possibly, well, not possibly, to work with Will Muschamp and build his resume up even more so.
But you also have coaches joining together that have the same style. You don't have the, okay, we're a blitz gap scheme defense, and we're a more of a laid-back zone type of defense. You have all the coaches on the same page. They're all aggressive, blitzing. Why do you get the 5 stars? Because you expect them to be able to cover one-on-one.
Right.
You expect them to be able to come up and support in the run game. They're going to be allowed to do that in this Will Muschamp system.
Yeah.
And Blake Gideon, even though he's also a disciple of
Muschamp.
Of Muschamp. So he knows what he expects out of his safeties and corners.
Yeah, it is a good move, and one that we haven't really touched on a lot about Will Muschamp and what he's been able to bring to this program. You look at the recruiting, who he's able to go out there and get in each class. He's already working on the 27 class, and he's got some playmakers on there. And if you're a younger football player that has the ability to play big-time D1 football, why wouldn't you look at the University of Texas and the projections of this defense? You're going to obviously get a chance to see it once they step back on the field and get to practicing and get everything rolling. But you have a chance to come to the University of Texas and make a mark, because he's going to put you in position to exceed all expectations. So for me, this is a big move for Texas going out to get him. It was a shocking move at the very beginning. If his name wasn't Will Muschamp, then people might look at this a little bit differently, because what PK was able to bring for this defense. But like anything else, there needed to be some change because of the defensive closing, being able to close a game out on the defensive side of the ball.
They're going to find out, too, who's the Leonard Moore of University of Texas. You know, Leonard Moore is the cornerback, played up in Round Rock, Dr. Leonard Moore's son at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
He goes wherever the best receiver goes. They don't normally do that in college.
Yep.
Normally in college, you just play your side of the field, and if he comes over here, that's your man. But Texas hasn't done that in years and years. I think Nathan Vasher was the last guy that was a bona fide, I'm going wherever the best guy is guy.
Right.
They're going to find out who that is, and they're going to give you the opportunity to do that. He's done that in every other system that he was in.
Yeah, it's gonna be something to pay attention to, the development of these guys. Obviously, they've already started.
I would want to come here and play if I was allowed to do that.
Right. That was my thought process from the very beginning, because you know how intense this is going to be. You got to be able to be coached hard, obviously. Yeah. You also have to look at everyone around you, the pieces that are there. You look at what Colin Simmons has done thus far. What is he going to do in this new defense where they're going to let him play? You remember what Sergio Kendall and all those guys used to do coming off the edge.
Oh, man.
So you start to see what that can be. Then you also look at what you can do in the secondary, how you're going to lock up. How is Jelani McDonald coming back to the University of Texas? How is this going to ensure that back end is going to be solid? Go back and look at what Georgia was. Go look at those players and see how he got them high draft picks and being able to go to that next level and be effective in the NFL. Not just being a high draft pick, but coming in and being an integral part of whatever team you're on
to make plays. So Texas football is in the right direction, but one of the conversations that we're going to have later in the week is going to be on the offensive side of the ball. You went out and you made some changes on the defensive side of the ball. You went out and got a new running backs coach. You got some playmakers on this team. You went out and got some good running backs. You got some wide receivers. You already had talent here on the 40 acres. Now the offensive side of the ball has to step up. Where's that offensive line going to be here by the kickoff of the season? Because the challenges happen week 2. No disrespect to Texas State in game 1. We understand that. But everybody judged Texas last year on the first game of the season with Hardge going to Columbus. Well, this time we get a game before that. Number 2, you get Columbus at home. You get Ohio State at home.
Right.
So it is going to be something that people are going to be talking about.
Not only are they going to be talking about it, they're going to pay through the nose to get a seat. We talked about, this season when, what was it, $700 just to get in the door to see A&M?
Yeah.
Like
that's
just
not even a good seat.
That's not a good seat.
Or a great seat.
Well, I mean, all the seats are great.
Yeah.
But like within 50 yards of the field, it's going to cost you.
Not the 50-yard line, 50 yards of the field.
50 yards up in the stands is going to cost you.
Yeah.
And I want to see what the price is going to be like for that Ohio State ticket.
Well, when we come back, I'll look at it and see what it
Please
looks like.
do that.
Yeah, I'll do that when we come back. But we got a big show for you today. We got a lot going on. Top of the next hour, we will have Texas softball head coach Mike White joining us, talk about his 9-1 softball team that is getting ready to go to California. You also get a chance to talk to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Miami Dolphins have made a move. They cut bait, and I wonder what's next. All that and so much more right here on a Fat Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on that iHeartRadio app.
Texas basketball is back on the hardwood, and AM 1300 The Zone is your home for every bucket. How about hope for 3? How about it? Every dunk. Now drives. Baseline goes up with a two-handed jam. Oh, what a throwdown. Every heart-stopping moment.
Come on, drives in, off the glass. Oh, it's good. Here's Taylor, 2 seconds. Launches from midcourt. Off the rim, no good. Texas wins the game.
All season long on The Zone.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
A couple of accidents this morning along the service roads of major highways. Starting things off on the service road of I-35 northbound at Highway 71. An accident blocks off the center lane. There's also a wreck on the service road of Highway 71 westbound at FM 973. And some stop-and-go traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Foster with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
Craig here with Dan Christensen of DJC Law. Injuries can occur anywhere, not only on the field. So if you've been injured by someone's negligence, don't fight alone. Call the team at DJC Law, the GOATs of personal injury.
That's right, Craig. At DJC Law, we fight hard to represent injury victims and get them the compensation they deserve.
Call DJC Law today at 512-888-9999. That's 512-888-9999. Or go to teamjustice.com. Principal Office, Austin, Texas.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Searching online for a car?
When you call that dealership, your first question should be, are there any extra costs to the price on your website? At Henna Chevrolet, our answer will always be no. Their answer, you don't want to know. Shop surprise fee free with Henna, where the price you see is the price you get. Absolutely no addendums ever. You deserve honesty, and that's what we run on. Together, let's drive at henna.com.
Introducing True Earnings Checking from Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. Earnings that are almost too good to be true. Earn 5% APY on balances up to $15,000. It's simple. Just deposit at least $1,500 in new money and make 15 debit card transactions each month. No minimum balance, no monthly fees. Even if you miss the requirements. Open your account online or at any of our 24 Austin area locations. Visit atfcu.org to learn more. Rates subject to change without notice. Federally insured by NCUA.
Some things you never forget, like your first bite of Tumble 22 hot chicken. Crispy outside, juicy inside, and packed with Texas-style flavor. Whether you want it painless or hot enough to burn your boots off, every piece is made fresh and fried golden, with 6 heat levels for every fan. And Pflugerville, things just got hotter. Tumble 22 is now serving up the heat right off I-35. How hot can you handle? Come hungry, leave happy. Visit the newest Tumble 22 in Pflugerville.
When Texas chills, Specs thrills. Keeping spirits high, glasses full, and the fun from freezing over. Bundle up with a bold bourbon or mix up mulled wine that'll melt the frost right off. Whatever your winter looks like, Specs keeps it toasty. Because when the temps dip, grab a jacket, light a fire, and keep the good times rolling. At Specs Wine, Spirits, and Finer Foods, the fun starts here.
Get ready, Austin. Planet Fitness is celebrating the grand opening of their brand new Lake Creek location on North 183 on Friday, February 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. Join Mark Henry and 1300 The Zone, and you can register to win UT men's and women's basketball tickets. No membership required. Everyone is welcome. Bring a guest, tour the sparkling new gym, and try out their amazing amenities. Join Planet Fitness, Mark Henry, and 1300 The Zone for free food, fun contest, and awesome prizes. Plus, you can meet Austin FC stars John Gallagher and Jaden Nelson. Only at Planet Fitness, Lake Creek, February 27th. Planet Fitness. The judgment-free zone.
Before it was vintage, it was a revolution. This smells like the 90s. A decade that tore up the rulebook and defined a new world of alternative. Nirvana, Atlantis, Pearl Jam, Weezer, No Doubt, and more. With commercial-free weekends. Your favorite era? Just a tap away. Open the free iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. You get a chance to talk to our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas as he breaks it down as always and let you know all things Texas Longhorns. We can ask him about the money for the coaching staff.
I was just going to ask you if Joe was a mathematician, because
Joe will give you a great answer on how much money will be made that weekend of Ohio State. I mean, you start thinking about the travel, the hotels, the people coming in, the seats, and how much
parking, concessions.
Yeah. It'll be very, very interesting to say the least. I got online. SeatGeek had it listed at $638 was the lowest price that I was able to find on here. One of the highest prices in the south side of the stadium was $4,200, and that's just for one ticket.
I'm going to go to Sold Out and see what their ticket prices are.
But right now, let's talk about this Texas men's basketball team as they get ready to have another battle. They've won 4 straight for the first time in a long time here at the University of Texas. And now they are getting ready to take on LSU tonight. That game tips off at 8 o'clock. Well, sometimes that 8 o'clock game runs a little bit later, pending on the game before that. But when you think about what Sean Miller and this basketball team has been able to do,
Sean Miller has found a way to piece some things together. Yesterday, he was asked about Traor's setback and did this help Nick Cody earn more minutes?
Yeah, Lucina's really day to day. He just has knee soreness, from the different things that he's gone through in the last year and a half, and we just want to make sure he's completely healthy when we put him out there to play. So we'll take a look at him here today, and then like we've been doing, make the call and what's in his best interest, and also our team's. Nick Cody was a big reason that we were able to beat Missouri. I thought he came in the game with a lot of confidence. It was great to see him catch the ball and finish the way he did on offense. I thought a number of plays that may appear to be simple weren't, because Missouri has really good size around the basket, and they're not an easy team to score against. But, he played off of the pick and roll, caught some great passes from his teammates, had a couple offensive rebounds. I think he had 6 rebounds, 3 on offense, 3 on defense. And then defensively, he went vertical and was where he was supposed to be. And I thought did a really good job, gave us some great minutes. I'm both happy for Nick and also equally proud of him. It's not easy to stay ready and get ready when your time is called upon. It's been, a long stretch since he's played in a game. Yet I think I've shared with you guys that his process in terms of his everyday has improved, and it's funny how that works out when you work hard and you start to work hard more often. When you're more consistent with who you are every day, all of a sudden when that opportunity comes, and inevitably it will, you're ready for it. So hopefully Nick can take that, build from it, and make our team better and deeper as we're here in February now.
And that's important for Nick Cody to be able to take the most of those minutes and give himself a chance. There's been we would keep hoping we would have his sighting, and then now he's finally there. So it is something that Texas fans were waiting for. I know Mark was waiting on him to show up, and now he has made that appearance. Another thing about this Texas basketball team you wanted to see is he's starting to see the confidence. And last year, Sean Miller's team at I keep wanting to say Butler. I got to remember he was not at Butler. He was at Xavier. Same colors. But you start to look at the team, and they started to build confidence during this stretch run. And Coach was asked if he can see confidence in his team.
No doubt, winning does breed confidence. I think it breeds confidence in our fans as well. I think I'll go back to what I began with here today is, hoping we have a great environment and a home court advantage, really like is required in February in the SEC tomorrow night against LSU. It's a big, big game for us. We only have 3 home games left, and it'll be really quickly. We're going to only have 2 left. So, my hope is that we can really feed off of our students and in that energy. But in terms of the confidence, with our team, there's also that fine line between, you start to win and take it for granted. You start to get away from maybe things that got you on the initial win streak. And that is, your process, working hard, trying to get better, feeling like you're cornered, playing with an edge, trying to fix the problems that have plagued you in the past, So I think we're riding that fine line of just trying to be good, trying to get better, and trying to not get too far ahead of ourselves, just every day. Today's a big day. How can we get ready for LSU? How can we get better? And it's no bigger than that for our team. So that's the focus that has gotten us to where we're at right now. And we have to keep that focus.
But they have been figuring it out. I mean, you wouldn't be on a 4-game streak if you weren't finding some answers.
Right.
So, being like Nick Cody, yeah, I'm a fan, and I want to see people do well, but also want people to do well because it's the right thing to do. When nobody's watching, are you doing the right thing? Are they resting? Are they hydrating? Are they eating correctly? Like all of those things, you keep me your head in the books. And not on 6th Street. Like there's a lot of factors that play into whether or not you're going to play well.
Yeah.
And the veteran leadership is usually the ones that are able to say, hey, guys, we need to lock in.
Yep.
And Texas, like, it's taking this long for them to get that because these are new players.
Yep. Dalen Swain was recognized as the SEC Player of the Week. He continues to get better. But one of the biggest things about this team that is happening is there's not a lot of assists that are being dished out during this run that they're having. There's a lot of I'm not going to say I'm not even going to say that. It's different situations that have happened. And Coach was asked about that yesterday as how this team continues to score with not a lot of assists.
It's certainly the way our team is built. It's different. I'll use Tremont Mark as an example. Where Tremont is at his best is right in that middle area. 15 to 17 feet. Those are sometimes some shots that just aren't good shots for a team. But for Tremont, they're very good shots. It's where he's at his best, and he also gets fouled, and he's way more efficient. To get him the ball in that area, it's not going to be on an assist, right? It's going to be putting him in a position to kind of make his own play, which he's very good at. And I'd say really a similar thing with Dalen, and obviously Dalen with the ball in his hands, he scores more driving it and he scores more in the open court, and he scores more using a ball screen or driving a ball at the end of the clock, right? So those two are great examples of guys that they're not going to be a recipient of a pass that leads to a shot very often. And then I would add Modest in as the third player because he just gets fouled so much that, regardless of whether it was a great pass to him, when you get fouled, there's no assist on it. So I think it's more along the lines of how our team is constructed. I will tell you it takes a little bit of time to really figure that out as a coach, especially when a lot of these guys, didn't play for us last year. So, some of what you see today, you might not have seen us early in the year. And that's when I would constantly refer to, time's not necessarily on our side, especially as it applied to Tremont. He just didn't do anything all summer and into the fall. So, where we really started to get to know him and him figure out where he could be comfortable, it was in our games and in practice, not in the summer or in the fall like it usually occurred. I mean, for example, we started him at the point guard at Duke. And if you think about how he would have played in the Duke game, he was non-existent. And a lot of it was just simply due to you have to realize what he's good at, what he isn't. And then he on his end had to get more comfortable, but he had no chance, in November to play well. So I think it's the combination of all of those, but we've settled into a good offensive team. And, my hope is that we could continue to get better and stay where we're at.
And that's important for this Texas basketball team as they take on LSU tonight at home. As you heard from Coach, they've only got 3 home games left. Quickly, it will be 2. And he hopes that everyone will come out and support this team that is playing at a very, very high level right now. When we come back, we'll have Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Ask him about the Kim Palm rankings and how Texas is in the tournament for now. Right now, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Coming up next on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio. Olympics update.
American Alana Myers-Taylor won her first Olympic gold at age 41, taking the women's monobob. She says she's still in disbelief.
I feel great. It still hasn't set in yet that I'm actually an Olympic champion, that we are actually able to accomplish this.
Myers-Taylor won her 6th Olympic medal. That ties Bonnie Blair for the most by a U.S. woman at the Winter Games. She's also the oldest American to win gold.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
The crash that was causing issues on the interchange ramp has cleared on 183 northbound over to Mopac, but a new accident on the service road of I-35 southbound at Main Street moved over to the right shoulder. And about a 15-minute out of your drive this morning through some stop-and-go traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hot deals and super low prices on everything for your business. And right now, brand your business at Staples with up to 30% off custom labels. Exclusions apply. Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app. Ends April 18th. Visit staples.com/print for details.
World's Strongest Man Mark Henry here, and I need to tell you something exciting that's coming to town in March. It's called the Rowdy Cowboy. It's a new sports bar and restaurant that's blown up their first 2 locations in the Dallas area. Next level sports, next level restaurant, cold drinks, dining experience way above the sports bar level. And it's all presented to you with the best looking cowgirls in town. With 70 TVs and Texas-sized menu, you're definitely going to want to check this out. Coming around Rocket Mart. Let's get rowdy.
Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
So I always dreamed of having a man cave.
But the wife doesn't like it.
What if I called it a woman cave?
Okay, so let's not do that, but add some relaxing lighting and a comfy IKEA Hofburg ottoman, and now it's a cozy retreat.
Nice, a cozy retreat. Man cozy retreat.
Sir, okay. Find your big dreams, small dreams, and cozy retreat dreams in-store or online at ikea.us. Dream the possibilities.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist, clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Spurs off until Thursday. Look for a 7th straight win when they host the Suns. San Antonio second in the West with a 38-16 record. Astros continue spring training workouts in Florida. At the Winter Olympics, U.S. women's hockey crushed Sweden 5-0. Will face rival Canada for gold Thursday, while American Elena Myers-Taylor captured gold in the women's monobob. I'm Ronta Moss.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Allstate.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. A legend from Sun Valley, Idaho, Hillary Knight is the ultimate captain of Team USA. Entering her record-breaking 5th Olympic Games, the veteran forward continues to be a scoring machine and physical force on the ice. With a resume already packed with gold and silver, she leads a hungry squad into Milano Cortina. Knight laces up her skates with one goal in mind, bringing the gold medal back home. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Texas Longhorns.
That means we go to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3. You can follow him on social media at Joseph Cook 89. And Joe, before we get into all the sports that are happening on the 40 acres, let's talk about the coaching approvals. You and I have been around this for a while. You know it's got to go to the Board of Regents before it can be approved, but all things look to be on the right path for the new coaches on the staff and those that are getting raises as well.
Yeah, obviously the big one is Will Muschamp getting about, that used to be head coaching money, and it still is head coaching money at a lot of places to approach $3 million a year for an annual salary. And, Pete Kwiatkowski was very well paid. I think he was approaching $2 million. Someone who, obviously had a lot of great defenses under his belt at Texas and was rewarded for them. But Will Muschamp has a track record that dates back almost, 2 decades. And you get the Kirby Smart defense and a guy who, like Steve Sarkisian said, is going to be a head coach for the defense, someone who is a little bit more autonomous, I guess, to say, on the defensive side of the ball than Pete Kwiatkowski was. So Texas is, when you have the resources Texas has, you can invest in a defensive play caller like that. I know it's still not his official title, but I'm never going to shake Steve Sarkisian saying I've got my head coach for the defense, because for Sark as a head coach, that means, that allows him to focus on his offensive play calling duties that he chooses, and also allows him to, leave that side of the ball not unsupervised, but just know that there's someone there who he has full trust in and can take care of that side of the ball without Sark having to maybe divert as much attention as he had to with Pete Kwiatkowski there.
Joe, does that put a lot more pressure on coach to succeed in that situation, being that, one, he has that title, but also how much money that they're going to be paying?
Yeah, I'm always kind of hesitant on saying like, oh, you're getting paid this much money, so that means you have to deliver results. Because if you're in big time college football, you're asked to deliver results. That's whether you're paid $1 million and don't call plays, or whether you're paid $10 million. But I've kind of backed off that. If you're going to spend $10 million on your head coach and $3 million on your defensive coordinator, like, you're going to want that to be worth the money. Again, that's head coach money at a lot of different programs. There are places, still even in the Power 5 or Power 4 that pay their head coaches around $3 million a year. That's about, I think I read somewhere what Muschamp was getting paid when he was head coach at Florida. So this is the type of money that you pay somebody, and you're like, look, we're looking for you to deliver elite results. We're paying our head coach among the top 10 in the sport, I'm sure, for playoff appearances and deep runs and conference title chases. We need our defense to do the same, and so that's what Will Muschamp's getting the $3 million check for. As far as the other guys, I think it was just Johnny Nansen and Kyle Flood who had their contracts come up on the Board of Regents. I don't think quite yet Jabbar Jaluke or even Blake Gideon, they were in that window to where their contracts would appear on this agenda. I think when people look at Nansen and Flood and wonder, why are they getting extensions? The thing that happened was, yes, they did get an extra year tacked onto their contract, but there was no additional money given to them. They didn't get any sort of raise. I don't believe they, had any change in their salary. It was just extra year tacked on. And I think there are varying levels to extensions, in this world in college sports. There's extra year tacked on. There's extra year tacked on and raise, and then there's the behemoth. We want you around here for a while. So and that's not to say they don't want him around. They wouldn't have signed him to an extra year if they didn't want him around. But I think it's just, when you look at it at a certain way, it's that level of, okay, this is for a lot of help on the recruiting trail, and to even provide some of these guys with a little bit of security. Even if Texas decides at some point, like, you know what, we're going in another direction, they know what type of money is coming their way, and that's also a little reassuring in its own right.
Yeah, that is deep, and I appreciate you sharing that. We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. Let's go to the hardwood, because Texas men's basketball has LSU coming into town, but they are going for their 5th straight SEC victory, something that has Ken Palm looking at Texas as if they're one of the better teams in the land. What was your takeaway from what you've seen in the rankings or for the March Madness, and of course what you heard yesterday during our presser?
Yeah, Texas has played themselves off the bubble. And I think that's obviously a great accomplishment when you get to 4 straight wins. You're bumping up your conference record, and I think there's also thinking about this right now, Texas has kind of established themselves in a certain spot in the league. That they're not going to be Florida, they're not going to be Alabama, they're not going to be Tennessee, and they're not going to be Kentucky. And we'll see what happens with A&M, but they're probably right behind that group of teams. They're in that little second tier, and that's quite an accomplishment, I think, for this season with a roster where Sean Miller decided, hey, there's 4 players here that I need to keep. Instead of going and getting 12 players, I just need to go get 8 now. And maybe those 4 players weren't exactly perfect fits for what he wanted to do, but he made them fit and he found the right system that made it work. And that's kind of what I asked about yesterday, what I wrote about. There are a lot of players on this roster that I don't think Sean Miller, if they were out in the open market, Sean Miller would have been like, oh, I'm going to go get him. I think the only one for sure maybe was Dalen Swain. That he would have, gone and got out on the open market. Yet guys like Jordan Pope, Tremont Mark, and Nick Cody, he's figured out how to make those guys work within his offense. And, his offense is one of the best in the country when looking at Kim Palm's offensive efficiency. It may be one of the best in Sean Miller's career. And it's because they do things in, the way that they have to do it. This team gets to the line and they shoot free throws really well. That is what is really buoying a lot of their offensive efficiency numbers. And if that's the way you play, that's the way you play. And that's what you have to accentuate. You don't want to get in transition. And Sean Miller talked about that. That's what I wrote about yesterday. You don't want to give all these teams more bites at the apple. You don't want to give them, considering Texas fouls a lot, more opportunities at the free throw line. You want to get your opportunities at the line or your opportunities in the offense and then limit the opportunities other teams has. He's not looking to run and gun, at least with this team. And so he's perfectly content with it being about like a 60 possession game, hitting about 20 free throws and trying to get out of there with the win. And I think that's worked against some of the teams they've played. They have not played in this stretch very many of like the higher end teams, and they're certainly not tonight against LSU. That's a team that's had a lot of different struggles. But that means, okay, you know what? This should probably be a game that they take care of. This should probably be a game that they win, get to that 5 straight. And if you do that, then you're at 8 SEC wins, and 8-10 has kind of been viewed as an SEC record that at the very least is on the bubble. Well, if you're at 8 wins right now and you're 8-5, I believe, after tonight with a win, well, that means you have 5 games to probably pick up 2 wins. And, you want to do more than that, but you have 5 games to pick up 2 wins. If you get to 10-8 in this conference, you're probably on the correct side of the bubble and probably playing yourself out of the first 4 in Dayton as well, which, I think Texas has high expectations. Sean Miller has high expectations as his tenure goes on. But I'm just a make the tournament, see what happens type of guy. And if they can do that in year 1, I think that sets a great precedent for what's to come.
Joe, I was going to ask you, do you think that Texas has done enough to get out of Dayton? And you just answered that. I want to go back to football. And Hardge and I were talking about how expensive that we thought it was going to be to get a ticket for the Texas-Ohio State game. And you would probably know a good number of what you think that weekend would draw. What is that number, do you think, will be drawn that weekend?
I mean, that's going to be a top 5 matchup, or 2 teams that a lot of people think are top 5. It could be, I don't know, it could be like 2 versus 3 or 3 versus 4. The one thing that may put a small damper on prices is that it's not on Labor Day weekend. It's on that second weekend of the season, whereas this last year it was on Labor Day weekend. Yeah. We know it's going to be a night game. We know it's going to be, probably. I know week 1 doesn't have a very strong slate, but week 2 should be. This is in an era where teams like a tune-up game before they play their big out-of-conference game. I wouldn't be surprised if a get-in-the-door price for 2 tickets may be around $400. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, and that may be lowballing it too.
You're lowballing it.
Is it like in the 1,000 range?
Well,
or something like that?
The lowest that we've seen is 634. 634 so far.
Wow, and we all know that the hype's on, because the thing about college football is there's no rankings attached to there's way too early rankings, but we forget about that in the next 150 days.
Right.
So once people realize, like, oh, Jeremiah Smith, and oh, Cam Coleman, and oh, Arch Manning, and Julian Sayin, and then of course at some point, I think it's usually around Memorial Day, they release some kickoff times for some of the big games.
Yeah. That
That one's going to be a 6:30 game on ABC. I feel pretty confident in that one. I don't know where else the SEC and ESPN would want to put that. So I think it's going to be one of those nights where you look and you're watching on TV, or you're there and you're absorbing all the atmosphere and loving everything about it. And then, oh yeah, there's a football game going on too. It should be pretty exciting.
I said 50 million for the weekend, and Hardge was like, no, it's going to be well more than that.
50 million as far like visitors, or
Well,
people
how much money will be spent in the city during that weekend?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it's gonna be one of those weekends where I'm kind of glad there's no F1 because it's all gonna be UT. The town's gonna be burnt orange. It's gonna be a lot of fun that weekend.
No doubt about it. There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas.
Thank you, Joe.
You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. Joe, I wanted to ask you too. Texas baseball, big performance this past weekend. You and I were texting during the game. Aiden Robbins is the truth.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are a lot of players you look at. It's like, man, I'm glad he's on my team, because if he wasn't, I would probably have a picture of him on the wall, be throwing darts at him. I think Aiden Robbins is going to fit that bill and be a fan favorite for Texas and a thorn in the side for a lot of other fans.
I cannot wait to continue to watch his journey. There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Follow him at Joseph Cook 89 and get all of his work over at Inside Texas. Thanks, Joe.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
When we come back, I got a quick little story about redemption that I want to talk about, and I want to give away some tickets right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
The voice of the Horns, Craig Way on 1300 The Zone, weekdays at 2.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
The crash that was causing issues on the interchange ramp has cleared on 183 northbound over to Mopac, but a new accident on the service road of I-35 southbound at Main Street moved over to the right shoulder. And about a 15-minute out of your drive this morning through some stop-and-go traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Capital One.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X business card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hardge here in February means President Day savings all month long at Covert Chevy Hutto. This is the perfect time to fall in love with the new Chevy in a deal that leads the way. Right now, get $15,000 off of MSRP on select new 2025 Silverados 1500s and $9,000 off of MSRP on select new 2025 Suburbans and Tahoes. See dealer for details. Just powerful Chevys, hometown hospitalities, and savings worth committing to. That's Covert Chevy Hutto right off of Highway 79. CovertChevyHutto.com. Together, let's drive. And they're now open Saturdays.
This is Jim. Hello. Jim started advertising with iHeartRadio way back in April. And now
I have customers out the door.
And this is Sarah.
Hi.
She started putting a portion of her marketing dollars in podcasting back in June.
Business is booming. That's why I'm working on a Saturday.
Want to be like Jim and Sarah? It's easy. All you have to do is own or manage a business and reach out to iHeart. Get started today at 844-844-iHeart or iHeartAdvertising.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. I don't know if you've noticed, but we got a lot of food in this country. A lot of peaches, a lot of corn, a lot of apples, a lot of everything. We've got so much food that we can't even eat it all. So if we got all this extra food, how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? I just don't get it. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to the hungry kids who need it. They can get you food even if you live in Idaho or Alaska or somewhere crazy like that. This isn't complicated. We got extra food and we've got hungry kids. Feeding America's done the math. Now it's your turn. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. I know you got internet on your phone, so what are you waiting for? We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents The Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
I got Joe Cook, Texas, breaking down Texas paydays, and of course, breaking down Texas basketball. The baseball. Get over to the text messages 81530 or give us a call using that talkback feature and give us your reason for wanting a pair of tickets. Yeah, do it. More importantly, do it on the talkback feature and leave the name. We're gonna make it even better. We want you to leave the name Cody Clemens. Cody Clemens is the key word for this opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see Texas versus Lamar. Cody Clemens using the talkback feature on the new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. We're going to give you more opportunity as well. As I mentioned yesterday, there was a story of redemption that was so important to me. Anthony Kim, golfer for the Live Tour. He was a guy that had he was headed toward the top of the world, one of the best golfers, young golfers in the world. And then his world started to crash. He had an injured thumb. He had a torn Achilles, and his road to his journey back was a rough one. Drug addiction, alcohol, just was not in a very good space. But he decided that it was time to change his life. And he wins the Live Tour tournament this past weekend with a record performance. And he spoke to some reporters afterwards talking about his journey.
I actually saw a clip of y'all's podcast. I don't know which one it was, but one of y'all said that I was going to make it. So I appreciate that.
We truly do believe in you, mate. Honestly.
I appreciate it. Best moment of my life so far. Obviously, when Bella was born, Emily and my life changed. But to be able to share this moment, even though Bella won't understand it, one day she will. And for her to be able to run on the green and see her dad isn't a loser was one of the most special moments of my life.
That's powerful right there. That's powerful, especially from the dark places that he was at and where he ended up going during that time and how his wife stood by him. Obviously, the birth of his child kind of changes the way you view things. And when you get put in those situations, it kind of changes your entire journey, so to speak. And however you get there, whatever it takes for you to get there, and you find that has been huge for him. And I'm just so excited for this kid, because if you know anything about life and the struggles that go with it, you need those moments like that.
Well, it's great to see that the focus of having a kid was able to bring him back. It did the same thing for me. Like, I was in the middle of my career, starting to get bored, not focusing. And then now all of a sudden we're pregnant. A kid is coming. And it just changes your thought process. I'm glad that he was in a place where he had something to live for and something to work for.
Well, he also had some people in his corner that stayed with him to help him fight through those moments. So great stuff as always. And I appreciate the journey for that young man, because it's a teachable moment for so many. Many people got through those teachable moments. Coming up next, Texas softball head coach Mike White talks about the weekend that was and preview what's coming up next right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Austin, Texas.
Tired of one price online and another at the dealership? At Steel Round Rock GMC, no markups, no addendums, just transparent pricing. Plus, we made it easier than ever to find a vehicle to fit your budget. Visit SteelGMCRoundRock.com and shop by payment. Like a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab lease for just $299 a month. Come see why we're the fastest growing GMC dealership in Central Texas. Steel GMC in Round Rock. Everything we do is driven by you. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's pretty simple. We're neighbors. We're in your city, talking about your town. You can't fake it. Take your favorite spot on the dial with you on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Guaranteed human.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You got to hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play, that my worth isn't determined by my performance, that even on my worst day, I am worthy, that you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Washington Secondary School Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
He's the head coach of the defending national champion softball team. The Texas Longhorns head coach Mike White joins us as they get ready for a big weekend in California. But before that, we have to recap what happened in the Bevo Classic, where Texas goes 5-0. Had a little weather in between, but it was a good weekend for the Lady Longhorns. Right, Coach?
Yeah, it certainly was. We came away with a 5-0 record. We lost one game to the rain, obviously, but overall a pretty good result.
Coach, sound like they got lucky because y'all been heaping some whoopings on people, and not just winning, but y'all pulled the belt out, as Michael Irvin said.
Yeah, the offense has been on fire right now, and that's where we're winning our games. But little concerns was the defense. We got to get our pitching a little bit better, but I'm pretty sure this is going to come around.
I have no doubt about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about your offense and obviously what Reese Atwood has been able to do. She continues her hot hitting, leading the team with 6 home runs, but Katie Stewart is swinging the bat well along with Leanne Good. But Katie Stewart got a chance to face her sister the other day, and let's just say that family dinner is going to be a little bit different when they get home.
Yeah, it's definitely bragging rights going to go to Katie, I think. But, her sister, Dee Dee, she's pretty impressive athlete too, so it runs in the family, and it was a special moment to be able to see them hug at home plate before the game.
That was very nice. I wanted to ask you, too, because what we were talking about with the offense, how explosive your team is, you're getting a chance to see some of your younger players get that opportunity to play, too. Mark was talking about you guys getting out in front and winning these games, but in those moments, you get a chance to see how some of the young players will be able to react when the lights are a little bit brighter.
Yeah, that's very true. We've got a lot of playing time out of J.C. Nichols, at third base, and she's playing a little bit of shortstop, being able to rest Vivi Martinez. So she's kind of really doing a great job for us, both offensively and defensively. She's batting .412, which is pretty good, and got a home run on the weekend as well. And then, of course, Alyssa Sneed, a lot of people like her as well as far as her speed and ability to play the outfield and come in and play some infield as well. So versatility is the name of the game for those young freshmen.
And you were talking a little bit about the pitching as well. You've got a lot of ladies that have gotten a chance to pitch, but obviously Tegan Cavan is the bell cow of that group. But what have you seen from some of the younger players to understand that, hey, these girls are going to be ready when the time is right?
Yeah, I mean, Hannah Wells, the National Gatorade Player of the Year freshman for us. She's got the velocity, she's got the movement. She gets a little bit of jittery sometimes, and sprays the ball around just a little bit. But we're going to work on that, getting her under control and getting her to be aware of the moment. But she's also swinging a pretty hot bat with 3 home runs. I think she only has 3 hits and 3 home runs. That's crazy.
Coach Hardge alluded to the fact that you had Tegan Cavine, you have the Gatorade National Player of the Year, but who's the player? And I asked Coach White this, or Coach Schlossnagle this the other day for the men. Who's the player that has surprised you? That you think, wow, a diamond in the rough, I can't believe she fell into my hands?
Well, I think, she's a senior now, but Leanne Good is the one that's really clicking on all cylinders. She did that at the end of last year. So if you're looking for maybe one of the established players, but she's certainly playing to a level that we haven't seen in her career right now with a .571 batting average and 4 home runs. So, she's really stroking it well and playing some good second base. But I think of the, the newcomers, I think JC Nichols is the one, and I think I've said that name before, but I really like her, especially when she's on the bases as well.
Yeah, we're talking to Coach Mike, head coach of the defending national champion softball team here at the University of Texas.
Yeah, you got to put that in front of it.
Got to make sure he will always be a champion, a national champion. I wanted to ask you this because you mentioned Viviana Martinez and her being back. Does she feel or look and move around like the player that she was beforehand, or you still see some things that she's trying to work through?
No, I think she's back to where she was. I mean, she's hitting a pretty good clip at 350. You just got to be wary of her just coming back and not being at 100%. I think she's probably around 90%. Of where she can be, but she certainly is good enough to play that position for us right now, and also her leadership on the field helps a lot as well.
Coach, y'all are going out to California, and you know that in the West Coast, the softball and baseball are king. How do you feel with this lineup of teams that y'all are going to face?
Yeah, I mean we played Stanford early in the season last year, and they kicked our butts, so to speak. They're very capable, and they've got a kid that's batting .650 right now with a number of home runs, Taryn Kern, and so they can swing it. There's no doubt about it, and they're well coached. Jess Allister, so she certainly knows what she's doing out there, and of course coming out to their home territory is going to be even a little more challenging. But also Arizona, who's swinging hot bats also, and putting up some pretty gaudy numbers. I mean, they're going to be another tough test for us. We play them twice.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because when you get a chance to go see, these are some teams that, especially Arizona, that has predominantly been really good at softball, continuing that tradition. This is also a chance for you to go on the road, a true road trip, not just down the road to San Antonio, but now you get a chance to travel with some of these young players and find out a little bit more about them. Is that the expectation when you schedule these types of tournaments?
Yeah, we like to have at least 2 away trips, and of course, like you said, UTSA was like a bus ride, so you can't really count that as a true road trip. I mean, obviously, a 4-hour flight out to the West Coast is going to be more challenging. Of course, the time zone change, for some of these freshmen that haven't done that before, that can be a challenge. And I think, correct me wrong, but I think the Sunday game against Arizona is at 8 a.m. local time. Yeah, so not used to playing too many games at that time in the morning. So I don't even know if it'll be light.
Well, most of these kids have been traveling for select, so they understand what some of those wake up and go type of games. I wanted to ask you this too, because this is an evaluation time for you. Obviously, once you get into conference play, things change a little bit more. But on your evaluation with you and your staff, what are some of the key things that you kind of look for at these moments for not only your experienced players, but especially your younger players?
Just where they're going to fit in the lineup, and how they handle the situations when things get going a little tough. When the adversity kind of hits and comes. Yeah, how do they react in those situations? Do they start pressing, or do they have that ability to reset and calm themselves down and understand to be in the present moment? I think those are special. Obviously, we know that most of our senior leaders are going to be able to do that. But what are the freshmen going to do in those challenging moments?
I wanted to ask you this too, because I've seen your videos of you pitching, And I wonder, when you're at practice and someone swings the bat really well against you, does that competitive nature start to come out of you and you really want to rear back and let them know, hey, coach was that guy before?
Well, I don't really kind of throw it that hard, but I'll challenge them with locations and kind of, give them a handful of bees with some stinging, inside pitches. So, it's hard to hide it, have a little contest with Reese every now and then. We kind of get back and forwards a little bit. She can kind of take my attitude sometimes, but it gets to be fun.
Yeah, I love that, because I know it's natural for you. You want to see them succeed. You want to see them swing the bat well and get ready for the game, but you're also like, wait a minute, she took me too far out of the ballpark. Do that to the opposing team. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, sometimes it's almost like putting it on a tee for them. They're that good, so you got to challenge them a little bit at times. And I tell them that too. So, hey, we need to make this a little more challenging. So, don't get too frustrated.
And before we let you go, I wanted to ask you, you spoke about Reese and how she is as a leader and how much she's grown. She continues to add to that record book, and those aren't cheap home runs. What is it about her and her approach at the plate that makes her so successful?
I just think she's on a mission right now, and she feels like there's no boundaries. And she doesn't care what she's done. She's forward thinking, and she wants to continue to chase and get better and put up some numbers. Obviously, by the time she leaves this program, her RBI totals are going to be phenomenal. I think she already has 23 this year in just 10 games. So, that's moving along at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, she's been nothing short of impressive. Your team moves to 9-1 and have a big test this weekend as you head to the West Coast. As always, Coach, we appreciate you and thank you for taking the time. I know you're moving 100 miles an hour, especially now that the season is here, but we appreciate you always taking the time with us.
I appreciate you guys putting us on, and hook 'em.
There he is, Coach Mike White, head coach of the defending national champion Texas softball team. As we mentioned this past weekend, they went 5-0 against some really good teams. Ohio State was one that I was a little bit worried about. I thought that they were going to come in. All they did was knock them around on Friday night, 14-6, and then they faced them on Sunday and defeated them 7-4. So this is a softball team that, with the talent that they have, and Leanne Good has been playing unbelievable softball. She played shortstop last year with Martinez being hurt. She moved back over to second base, and she has been clean, and she's knocking the fire out of the ball. So it's been very, very
That's
impressive.
awesome.
When we come back, we're going to end up having a conversation about the NFL. Tyreek let go. What's next in Miami? Fins up, baby. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on that iHeart Radio app.
In their inaugural season in the SEC, the Texas Longhorns made history.
For the first time in 22 years, the Texas women are headed for the Final Four.
Now, they're back to finish what they started.
To the hoop, and she scores! And she scores!
Harmon will hoist it from half court and makes it. Listen to Texas women's basketball all season long on 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Stop and go speeds on I-35 northbound this morning are being caused by an accident at Slaughter Lane, adding about 10 to 12 minutes to your drive, starting from Highway 45. Further northbound on I-35, watch out for a stalled vehicle affecting the interchange ramp over to Highway 45, as well as an accident on 35th Street at Mopac. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Need a new AC? Austin Energy's Home Energy Savings Program can help with rebates averaging $2,000 on whole home energy improvements. Call or visit abacusplumbing.com today for a free home energy savings project estimate. M20628.
Searching online for a car? When you call that dealership, your first question should be, are there any extra costs to the price on your website? At Henna Chevrolet, our answer will always be no. Their answer, you don't want to know. Shop surprise fee free with Henna, where the price you see is the price you get. Absolutely no addendums ever. You deserve honesty, and that's what we run on. Together, let's drive at henna.com.
Every Olympic dream starts with a first glide. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build confidence, strength, and joy on the ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com.
Are you one of the 7% of adults in the United States who are searching for an alternative to sleeping in bed? Then let me introduce you to Z-Cliner, the revolutionary recliner designed by FlexSteel. The Z-Cliner, meticulously engineered with restful sleep in mind, making it an ideal bed alternative. A healthy life starts with a healthy night's sleep. Z-Cliner is more than just a recliner. It's a personalized comfort experience. It features multiple power adjustments like recline, headrest, lumbar, zero gravity, reducing pressure on your body, tech integrations like charging ports for easy modern living. We know life can be messy, stressful. That's why Z-Cliner is upholstered in a moisture and stain-resistant fabric. Perfect for all-day enjoyment, even homes with pets and kids. Z-Cliner, a complete sleep solution. Get started. Unmatched comfort. ZCliner.com/Dan Patrick today to find a Z-Cliner at a store near you.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready, Austin! Planet Fitness is celebrating the grand opening of their brand new Lake Creek location on North 183 on Friday, February 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. Join Mark Henry and 1300 The Zone, and you can register to win UT men's and women's basketball tickets. No membership required. Everyone is welcome. Bring a guest, tour the sparkling new gym, and try out their amazing amenities. Join Planet Fitness, Mark Henry, and 1300 The Zone for free food, fun contest, and awesome prizes. Plus, you can meet Austin FC stars John Gallagher and Jaden Nelson. Only at Planet Fitness, Lake Creek, February 27th. Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone.
Harry Styles is set to curate the Meltdown Festival at London's South Bank Centre, which describes itself as the world's longest-running artist-curated music festival. He'll also perform a headline concert at the event. Styles says he's deeply honored to curate the festival and that his goal is to share the music and art that I love and to celebrate the rich history of the venue. The festival is set to run June 11th through the 21st. Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show has reportedly been cleared of any possible rule violations by the FCC. Tammy Trujillo has the latest.
That's according to the New York Post. The Puerto Rican artist's performance was the subject of calls for an FCC probe by some Republican lawmakers. GOP Florida Congressman Randy Fine argued the halftime show would have been pulled off the air if Bad Bunny had sung his lyrics in English rather than Spanish. Bad Bunny's performance averaged 128.2 million viewers, according to Nielsen. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Drake is hitting a new milestone on Spotify. The artist has become the first rapper to surpass 2 billion streams on the platform in 2026. According to Hip Hop All Day, Drizzy is also the first artist in history to have 200 songs with over 100 million streams on Spotify. That's entertainment. I'm Jacqueline Carl.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Stuff by Mike White, head coach of the Texas Longhorns, defending national championship softball team, ready to go on the road and make things happen. But as always, we got to go to the NFL, and one thing about all things NFL, it is just like the NBA. Drama will be involved, and with the drama, it goes to Miami. The Miami Dolphins made the news yesterday as they decided it was time to cut bait with one of their stars.
We have some breaking news.
Oh, yeah.
The future Hall of Famer, Tyreek Hill, has been released by the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek now becomes an unrestricted free agent for the first time in his career, but here's the problem. If you forgot, he dislocated his knee and tore his ACL in late September, and I just read that he was able to walk for the first time without assistance about a week ago. So the Dolphins save a bunch of money. Tyreek's status for 2026 is more than up in the air.
And to me, I don't see a problem with this. I don't see a problem with Tyreek Hill being relieved of his duties in Miami. He's going to be 32 years old when the season starts. He's going to be in free agency. He is probably going to be one of those guys that is a first ballot Hall of Famer, even though we don't ever understand how they vote for the Hall of Fame anymore because of some of the things. But coming off of what made him who he is, being that speed guy, you don't know what's going to happen. Now, I wouldn't bet against him just because he is one of those quick twitch and he's not a big, long strider. He's quick with it. But I just don't know exactly if I would be willing, if I was the Dolphins, to have that type of burden on a contract of somebody like that.
Bingo. If I'm a new coach and I'm not going to hang my hat on something.
New coach and new GM.
And new GM.
Yep.
I'm not going to hang my hat on something that somebody else had that is not succeeded.
Right.
As well as injured.
And he's a little bit of drama.
And of course you can throw that in there.
Yeah. I mean, that all plays to a lot of it. But everybody, what's the risk versus the reward, right? Is the risk worth the reward? And so now looking at him, because he wasn't the only one that was relieved of his duties yesterday.
Right.
Bradley Chubb, defensive end, big-time pass rusher. He's out of there. Guard James Daniels, out of there. And wide receiver and special team player Nick Westbrook Eichhorn, not Finkel is Eichhorn,
Finkel is Einhorn.
Are the ones that cleared over $56 million in cap space.
Yeah.
Ahead of the new coach coming in and the new general manager. Since both of them are being released now, it saves them a lot of money. But going back to Tyreek, where do you see him possibly ending up if available?
With that kind of money, you can make moves and get valuable pieces. And that will be able to help you. And there's a lot of teams that, they're willing to part with draft picks if they can get a quality player right now. And Miami needs that at wide receiver. They need it at offensive line.
You're not a fan of Jalen Waddle?
He said me next.
I know.
He said he wants out. And I would oblige him. Tell your story walking is my philosophy.
What's next for Tua?
I hold on to him because it would count so much against the cap that making all of these moves to fix everything, it would be like it would be a waste of time to do all what they've done. To try to, you can release him, but he's got a guarantee. So you're still going to have to pay him close to $80 million.
That, to me, that number right there for a guy that is concussed a lot, you're not sure if he's going to be what you're looking for, because he was more for what Mike McDaniel's offense looked like. We don't know what it's going to look like with the new head coach, new offensive coordinator, the expectations. You also have to look into, if you're a Dolphins fan, what direction are we headed? Are we going full rebuild now? Because if you get rid of Waddle, you've already got rid of Tyreek. You're moving away from Bradley Chubb and what he's brought to the table. That, to me, seems to be a full-out, all-in rehab. Not rehab.
What pick? First
11.
round pick. They have the 11th pick.
Yeah, 11.
Listen, man. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm like, y'all need a wide receiver. I'll take your 11th pick and your second round pick.
Well, the Cowboys have 12. They have number 12.
I told you I'm not a fan of Pickens. They need a wide receiver.
You think
he's yours? I will sign him and trade him.
You think that they would give up the 11th pick for a guy that will be franchise tagged and that is not That's also a problem child.
That's a Pro Bowler, and who's got unbelievable skill, and they don't have any. Yeah.
Well, not only that, we still got to figure out to what we were talking about, what's going to happen with the Tua Tagovailoa situation as far as the quarterback position is concerned. We do have Quinn Ewers there. He's going to probably get an opportunity. Don't know how good of an opportunity he's going to get, pending on what moves they make at that quarterback position. So there's a lot of uncertainty.
And they have a lot of money, is what I'm saying.
And not only that, okay, we talked about it. You look at the AFC East. You got Buffalo. You've got the Patriots, who just went to the Super Bowl, and you got the Jets in that division. All changes, except changes at the head coaching position in Buffalo. But the offensive coordinator now becomes the head coach. Obviously, the moves in Miami that we just brought up. The Jets, they can't even hire people. Woody Johnson is like, no, you make it work. They like Smokey's mom in Friday. I mean, so what do you want me to do?
Put something with it.
Make it enough. And we're going to figure out that. And then, of course, as we talked about the Patriots, where will the Patriots be after going to the Super Bowl? Do they get better? Are they getting better at the the offensive tackle position? So it'll be interesting to see how that
they
AFC
spent
East.
a lot of money and draft capital on that offensive line. They're young.
Yeah.
Both tackles were rookies.
Tackle and guard.
Tackle and guard were
Yeah.
rookies.
Yeah.
So those guys just got to develop. They have to invest in training them to get them up to speed, because you can't have what happened in this.
Dude's arms are too short, man. He can't keep people off of him.
Then they're going to have to
T-Rex
move him to guard,
Yes.
and then trade the other guard
or move him
for
to
a
the
tackle.
Guard.
Yeah.
There's going to be something else that needs to be done. But as you look at the NFL and what the news is with all the latest, it is going to be a tough move for what Miami is trying to do as well.
And as far as the Tua situation, you got to treat it just like the Deshaun Jackson situation. You just got to eat that money.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, you said Jackson.
Did I?
Yeah. That's cool. That's what I'm saying.
Get the clip, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, he got you.
But I don't need to get the clip. I heard it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna correct you for no reason.
So those guys, they're gonna have to sit.
Yeah.
And you just absorb it, and then next season, then you can make the move. But it's gonna take a calendar year for you to be able to make those moves for Cleveland and Miami. And then they'll be out of quarterback hell, which is going to be really good for a new regime. They start, even though you take the job in a turmoil year,
yeah,
the next year you have a grace.
But do you have the grace anymore? Do people give you grace anymore in these?
The owners are going to have to, because they're the ones that created that situation.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't want to be penalized if I take this job. Listen, I don't want to be penalized for the sins that y'all made.
Preach on them. Preach on them.
Yeah.
Hey.
So let's get through this year.
Well, they've already started doing that,
right?
About getting some change. Also, today is the NFL franchise window. It opens today, and it will run through March the 3rd. A bunch of interesting names will be in the middle of that.
Super Bowl MVP.
We're gonna see what ends up happening with that. George Pickens, Daniel Jones, and Breece Hall are names to pay attention to. And what Mark just mentioned, Kenneth Walker III, trying to figure out what's going to happen with him. Coming up next, we got the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on that iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Olympics update.
The U.S. women's hockey team will face Canada for Olympic gold after a 5-0 semifinal win over Sweden. U.S. captain Hillary Knight calls it a special moment.
Magical. I mean, these are the moments you dream of as being a little kid. Everything on the line.
The rivals meet for gold on Thursday, the 7th time in 8 Olympics the U.S. and Canada have met in the final. Meanwhile, on the Olympic schedule today, team pursuit medals on the line in men's and women's skating.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
Don't miss the 2026 iHeart Country Festival, Saturday, May 2nd at the Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
The earlier accident on I-35 northbound has been cleared at Slaughter, but you're still looking about a 10-minute out of your drive. Delays start from Highway 45. Also, rush hour traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. And 10-minute out of your drive as well on Mopac southbound due to congestion from Duval to 2222. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Lights or appliances burning out too quickly? Call Abacus for a professional weather readiness power checkup for just $79 and have a licensed Abacus electrician inspect your home for electrical safety issues. When it comes to protecting your home and family, you can count on Abacus. License M20628.
You're calm, you're respectful, and then the ref misses a call. And that's when you grab for a Bud Light. It's smooth, refreshing, and perfect for cooling off when the Texas basketball team gets a bad call. That's right, ref. You missed that one, but I'm not going to miss my Bud Light. Bud Light, the official domestic beer of Texas basketball. Bud Light is easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
So I always dreamed of having a man cave, but the wife doesn't like it. What if I called it a woman cave?
Okay, so let's not do that, but add some relaxing lighting and a comfy IKEA Hofburg ottoman, and now it's a cozy retreat.
Nice, a cozy retreat. Man cozy retreat.
Sir, okay. Find your big dreams, small dreams, and cozy retreat dreams in-store or online at ikea.us. Dream the possibilities.
It's a sale. Right now, every service needed for your vehicle is on sale at any of the 3 Leaf Johnson Ford locations, Austin, Manor, and Buda. And we're wide open. Tires, brakes, oil changes for only $39.99 with synthetic blend oil, tire rotations, and alignments. You name it. Any of the 3 Central Texas locations have it on sale. Can't come see us? We'll come see you with our mobile van on most services, or we'll come pick it up and bring it back. Go to leafjohnson.com and pick your location and time. You'll love it at Leaf, Austin, Buda, and Manor.
Some cravings just don't quit, and Tumble 22 Hot Chicken is one of them. That first crunch hits loud, the juiciness follows, and before you've finished your meal, you're already planning your next visit. Because at Tumble 22, every piece is hand-breaded, fried fresh, and served with serious Texas swagger. From mild and friendly to full-on fire, you're in control of the heat, at least until you decide to go one level higher. So go ahead, follow the crunch. Tumble 22 Hot Chicken, done the Texas way. Visit their newest location in Pflugerville.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, areas of patchy fog early, cloudy, then becoming partly cloudy for your Tuesday afternoon, a high near 80. Cloudy tonight with areas of dense fog, a low near 60. Partly cloudy on Wednesday, a high near 80. Tomorrow night's low, 65.
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. In the automotive industry, time and trust matter. Miss an electrical problem and it can slow everything down. That's why Napa delivers electrical solutions the pros trust. The parts, tools, and expertise to catch problems before they become breakdowns. That's Napa know-how.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. Representing Vienna, Virginia, Ilya Malinin is redefining what is possible on the ice. Known as the Quad God, the reigning world champion arrives in Milano Cortina as the only skater in history to land a quadruple axel in competition. He isn't just performing a routine, he's pushing the laws of physics. Malinin steps onto the Olympic ice looking to turn his technical revolution into pure gold. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Get over to the The key word of the day, Coach Schwarzenegger to be able to win a pair of tickets to go see Lamar in Texas tonight at the Dish. Key word, Coach Schwarzenegger. And you have to be able to spell it. But right now, you want to hear from the WWE Hall of Fame, the world's strongest, D-Mark Henry, as he brings you his world's strongest take. Take it right back, fella.
Hard. You know what time it is? It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Cause back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Well, guys, here we are again. World's strongest take. And it's spawned by a phone call that I got yesterday. Man, Don, yeah, I'm putting you out there on Front Street. Man, why y'all always cry at the Olympics? You should be happy. I'm sorry. I got hot, Hardge. Yeah, I cried. Every time they raised that flag, I cried. I love my country. I worked hard with very little money being made and very little people caring how hard I worked. Elena Myers, 41 years old. She finally won a gold in bobsled. She's been a medalist now 5 times, 5 medals. And she's tied with Bonnie Blair as the most accomplished in the medal department. And she thought that it was impossible for her to be able to come back. She had a bunch of concussions from competing and not having her best performances in the Olympic Games. And she said to have my name up there with Bonnie Blair, it just doesn't make sense to me. And there was a point when when they announced her time and it showed her as the champion, she fell to her knees. And she has a kid. She has 2 kids. And one of her kids is deaf. And she signed to him, "Mommy won." And of course, she's going to cry. Don, the level of work that you go through when nobody's watching and nobody cares except for you and you in the record books, you and your competition all around the world, culminating to one day, and every effort that you've made, blood, sweat, and tears, came down to that moment and she won. That's why she cried. And there were, I guarantee you, hundreds of thousands of even millions of Americans that saw her in that moment and they cried with her. So Don, save it with the "why do you cry?" Hardge, my take is this. Olympic athletes, I don't think they get their just due, except for 1 or 2 weeks of their lives. And that's if you make it to the Olympic Games and if you make it on the podium. But my take is that we need to give more love and respect and admiration to our Olympians, because there were 644 people on the team with me in 96. That's 644 people out of billions of people in the country. Don't you think that deserves a little bit more love and respect? What say you?
I can agree with you on a lot of that, but let's be honest. A lot of people don't know our Olympic athletes. They're only come around every 4 years.
Right.
So people don't get a chance to glorify them unless you know them personally. i.e. right here, you get an opportunity to be around said sport, like weightlifting. A lot of people don't pay attention to weightlifting unless you're a weightlifter. There's not a lot of people that walk around and we're like, oh man, he lifted all them weights and everything, because they don't pay attention to it because it's not a mainstream sport.
Right.
So a lot of these sports that are out there that I enjoy, like I love watching that curling thing. That thing is funny to me. Canada cheated the other day and they were about to fight on the ice because they got caught cheating. I would never cheat in curling. What? You really were.
But we saw you.
We saw you. You know there are cameras
There's
here.
cameras everywhere.
We saw you. But yeah, I agree with you, because you become one. And what I mean by that is you're one of one. You are one of one when you can win a medal, when you are a gold medal a recipient. You are one of one in those types of events. And those are the types of moments. Like now, she will probably be on every Wheaties commercial. She'll probably be in there with the Geritol because she was 41. They're going to give her some other stuff because for us old people.
Rocking chair.
But she is good for us because she shows that you can still do it if you put your mind to it.
Right.
So she's a motivator for the older crowd.
And people signing, like her doing the sign. Like there's so many layers.
Because nobody knows the stories all the time.
Right. And I didn't know that her kid was deaf.
Exactly. And you wouldn't have if she didn't win.
And wasn't it like her fifth time? It was like a large number, like fourth or fifth time trying to go for gold. And
and she finally got it.
Yeah, that perseverance of finally getting it is a story that always gets highly told.
Yep. And there's so much more that goes into it. But to your point, Mark, you're right. I mean, to be an Olympic athlete with the ability to be one of one, where you are the person that is going to represent the country in a certain event. Yeah, it's a totally different thought process. And there are so many other ways that we can probably glorify what they've been able to achieve in their careers. But it's still, again, it's those one-offs.
In a lot of countries.
It's the Winter Olympics, too. A lot of people always pay attention to the summer. But the winter is always tough.
Yeah, but they're all tough. But my thing is this. In a lot of countries, you win a gold medal or you win any medal, like they give you a certain money. They give you a stipend. Like, you get $1 million or 500,000 or 200,000, whatever it is. But we don't do that in America. You have to rely on sponsors and endorsement. And, everybody doesn't get the endorsement.
Right. Gotta work. But great world strongest take. And yes, to be able to be an Olympic athlete is something that is very, very special.
Congratulations.
Yep. When we come back, I want to give a shout out to what is happening on the 40 acres. And when is enough? I'll explain right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
Hey there, Texas fans. This is your voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, inviting you to join us for Longhorn basketball. We'll bring you all of the action all season long, including in-depth analysis and exclusive access to players and coaches before the opening tip and after the final whistle. Every week, we'll visit with Texas head coach Sean Miller on Longhorn Weekly. This is your exclusive source for Texas Longhorns basketball. The Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
On 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
The earlier accident on I-35 northbound has been cleared at Slaughter, but you're still looking about a 10-minute out of your drive. Delays start from Highway 45. Also, rush hour traffic on 290 westbound from FM 1100 to FM 973. And a 10-minute out of your drive as well on Mopac southbound due to congestion from Duval to 2222. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Central Texas RV Super Sale. The Central Texas RV Super Sale is coming to Dell Diamond February 26th through March 1st. Compare hundreds of RVs side by side. see the newest models, and find the right fit for your next adventure. Tickets are on sale now at centexrvsupersale.com.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting saber-tooth zip ride or pan for gemstones. Take the wild cave tour or the hidden passages tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Delivering more is just how we do business at Group 1 Ford of South Austin. Get more selection with our huge inventory of brand new Fords and quality pre-owned rides. More value with bigger deals and more confidence with our Austin family that's been serving Central Texas drivers for over 2 decades. Whether you're hauling gear to Zilker Park or commuting down Mopac, you get more with the team that knows Ford best. Group 1 Ford of South Austin, home of transparent pricing and no dealer add-ons. Visit us on South I-35 or online at group1fordofsouthaustin.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to trust what you're seeing. Who made it? Is it real? But with iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. And if you own or manage a business here or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way in creating your future customers. Make iHeartMedia a part of your 2026 plan today. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
We all use AI, but here, it never pretends it's real. AM 1300 The Zone. Guaranteed human.
We heard about it a couple of months ago. There was an announcement with no details. I started to wonder if it was even going to happen. Then we started hearing about Mayweather and Pacquiao maybe. Now I'm told that it is happening, this Mayweather-Mike Tyson exhibition, and that it's going to happen April 25th in Congo. That's the plan right now.
In the Congo? Wait, is Don King part of this? It's in the Congo?
Let's bring him back, right?
Hey, let my people go, baby. Let's get it.
We have you know what? But it's arguably the two biggest names of the last, 50 years in boxing?
First off, what is enough? Why is Mike Tyson, I'm not going to argue with you, Mike, just do what you do. 59 years old, going to go out there and fight with Mayweather, who is 48 years old. Neither one of them want to fight. You talk about a check engine light being on. That thing is like the hazard light. It is always going to be flashing. There's no reason for us to even want to see that. Will you be watching, Mark Henry?
No, I will not be watching.
Okay,
It's an embarrassment.
Yes.
I mean,
and they're going to the
for the
Rumble.
money.
And they're going to the Rumble in the jungle. They're going to the conga. Come on, man.
Listen, I'm embarrassed. I mean, I love money just like the next dude. But this is Jake Paul, all of them.
Yes.
I'm tired of it, man. Yeah. It's like, can we get back to real fighting?
This is what
this is an exhibition.
Away. This is what's taken away from real fighting.
Right.
That's why Jake Paul got his jaw broken by a real fighter. Like this right here is just going to be dancing in the ring because they're not even going to do that. Like, I don't understand. And then
they're wrong, different weight classes.
Hugely. Different weight classes.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. Last time Mike Tyson fought was November 2024. It was against Jake Paul. The last time Mayweather fought was August 2024, and it was against John Gotti III. Not even the real John Gotti. It was the John Gotti III, mob's son, in Mexico City. Like, what are we doing? Like, this makes zero sense. 0 cents.
But money.
Yeah, it definitely has to.
Must be the money.
Right. Also about the money is Texas basketball, as they are trying to get themselves a better spot in the NCAA tournament. They have moved off the bubble and seem to be secured. But here is Coach talking about Dalen Swain and how he's been playing and how important it is for him to turn it on when he knows how to.
Dalen has just really grown and matured. You know, I've used this term a number of times talking about him, but he's the throwback. You know, he's the young person and player that you recruited as a junior in high school, and you fell in love with what he could become, knowing that like where he is as a junior in high school is nowhere near where he could be in college. And you just hope that you can convince him to come and be with you as the coach and your staff. He did that. But we had a track record of getting to know him and his mom and his family really well. And we developed a trust and a relationship. And then, you know, having the opportunity to coach him for his first 2 years in college, where he learned and grew, got bigger and stronger. And that's a big part of his development. You know, at one point, Dalen was like 176 pounds. You know, today you watch him at 220. So that's a big difference, 40 pounds. And then, you know, following us here to Texas and just watching him work this summer and fall, and, you know, knowing that he was going to make a jump. We knew that, but it's great to see him. I think make the jump, but I think the other part, he's learning to be a leader. I think he's been forced, like we threw him to the fire to do a lot of things. And, you know, I think he's more comfortable being a leader, being the guy that has the ball in his hands in critical times. He's more comfortable today than he would have been in November, December. You know, his greatest attribute is just his ball skills. You know, he can play the game with the pass, the dribble, and he knows what he's doing right now. And I say that he just has a great gift of size, you know, like Magic Johnson back in the day, like big difference when a guy can see the court at 6'9", 6'8", and Dalen at 6'8". You know, he really can see over the defense, and you feel that sometimes watching him play.
He's a special player, man.
Yeah,
he's smooth.
His skill set is where he doesn't have to have the ball in his hand to do well, but if he does have the ball in his hand, he still can do well.
Right.
And if he plays with a dominant NBA guard one day, he's going to look like, how did we not know who this guy was?
Right.
Because his scoring is going to look easy. You know, Robert Horry was one of those guys. It looked easy. You look up and Robert Horry would have 21 points and 10 rebounds, and you go, wait a minute. He's only played like 25 minutes.
Right.
That's who he is. He's just one of those guys that have all the ability, and it meets the size that he is, and he's going to be a really good piece for whatever team he ends up on at the next level.
Yeah, he is special and cannot wait. Make sure you get over to the gym today.
I want him to get through this season first.
Let's make sure we hold on to him as long as we possibly can. Texas will be taking on LSU tonight, 8 o'clock tip. You can hear all the action on 98.1 KVET. And, of course, you can listen to Texas baseball, as Texas baseball will be hosting Lamar at 5 o'clock. You can listen to the pregame starting at 4:45. There will be no Bucky and BK today because of all the activities that are happening on the 40 acres. Dylan Volantis was named co-SEC pitcher of the week for his performance against who we saw in UC Davis. Big-time performance by a guy who was the stopper of the year, and now he's getting his opportunity as the starter for the University of Texas. So first pitch today at 5 o'clock. Again, LSU tonight, 8 o'clock. You can listen to it on 98.1 FM KVET. And my curiosity, which game will Craig be doing? Will he do both tonight?
Ooh. Can he?
He's been known to do it before.
I'd have to see this.
He would do it. If the game being at 5 and then the game ending, I believe Craig will start the game for UT, and then he will get in the golf cart and drive across and go do Texas men's basketball. I've seen it happen. He's done it before.
Man, that dude is a G, man.
I'm like, hey, man, let somebody else do it, man.
Do you have somebody waiting just in case for the basketball game?
No, you have to commit.
Baseball early. You leave baseball early.
So it's the baseball game. If the baseball game runs a little late, you have a little extra inning.
Well, if you're doing it with Keith Moreland has been able to do
to close it up.
Okay, fair enough.
He's done play-by-play before, so he would be able to do it. If anybody can pull it off, I believe Craig Way can pull it off because of the location and proximity of the stadium.
Let's not call and ask. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, I'm not going to call and ask him, but I'm sure that the conversation will be had.
Well, we're going to set
Craig.
the line at plus 120.
Go set a line.
Well, let's say this. If he does call baseball, he may be listening. Hold on, let's see. Craig might be listening. Not Craig. I think he does both tonight.
I do too.
I've seen him do worse as far as not being across the street and then trying to get over there, and there's the delay, weather, and all that other stuff.
I've
listening.
seen him
do that.
It's a short golf ride.
It is, and he's probably already got it set up perfectly for when he's going to leave to get to the stadium. For Mark Henry, for Marcus, I'm Hardball Hardge. Special thanks to Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and of course, Texas National Championship softball coach Mike White for joining us. Make sure you locked in tomorrow as we'll have more guests and more news for you. We'll recap Texas baseball and basketball and preview Texas women's basketball. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. And just remember this, folks, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
Mark Henry here, and I'm here to tell you about your new favorite country sports bar and grill. It's coming to Austin in March. It's called the Rowdy Cowboy. Has 2 locations in the Dallas area and has everybody talking. From the 70s